what's your personal project you're working on?
It's a
What's your personal project? That sounds fun. Like Pokemon.
I'm really excited though because I'm gonna be like building like a low quality version of Oregon Trail.
How to get a low quality
Like a super simplified, and it'll always end in a terrible.
like the episode 2 Let's Go.
Original version of Oregon Trail that's like on like a like plastic version of game, like it looks like a Game Boy, but the only game you could play on it is Oregon Trail, but it's the original game uploaded on there. And I was just like, that's just genius.
And it's nice because this one's lower pressure because it's starting from scratch, so it's not me trying to rebuild something that already exists. Lower pressure.
Put a link in the chat. I would have picked it
Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight. We found love in the darkest place. From the ashes we will shine and fly with grace. Yeah, we'll rise up, you can't stop us. Dancing through the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, take the night. We are rebels, we are stronger. Like a phoenix, taking flight.
welcome to Autumnhall. Everybody is back. And ready for another week here. So, who wants to recap last week, Megan, for us? So, recap last week. Who wants to recap last week, Megan, for us?
Official note taker.
So, recap last week. Who wants to recap last week, Megan, for us?
Note taker ever, though.
Official note taker. Official
Entered
note
the beautiful house of Autumnhall
Ever, though. Taker
on
ever, though.
the invitation of the Lord of Autumnhall.
Taker ever, though.
But it turns out it wasn't the invitation of the Lord of Autumnhall at all. It was the house trapping us. So that was a revelation. We ended up gaining the attention of the giant, creepy, all-powerful mage guy who tore out Darius's soul. And
You know you love being soulless. It's going to be your favorite thing.
right. And once that was done, he returned us back to the start, and we started exploring the house. Found a bunch of puzzles that we have to do to help our ghostly friends throughout the house and try to find our way out.
That is also true. So, we have Paul, who is Paul, hashtag who is Paul. That is the biggest mystery at this point. What is Paul doing? We got soulless Darius over there. How you feeling, Darius?
Empty.
And we've got, let's see, Sid and Archer, who are apparently important for some unknown reason to everybody. So, I don't know. Let's see how this week goes. It's going to be completely normal, right?
Cookies and tea parties. That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Like the
The truth is there.
All right, awesome. So this week, you all start off in two different groups. One group is Jorna, Darius, and Paul, and the other group is Archer and Sid and Cephalogia. And one group with Cephalogia is looking at the menagerie that was developed last week with all the little critters around. So Jorna is getting her first actual look and interaction with it, somebody who is a druid. And Paul, Kurt, and I'm so sorry, Jorna, you are not in that room because you are not in that group. That would be the Archer and Sid and Cephalogia group. Meanwhile, Paul, Jorna, and Darius, they are stuck in a room trying to figure out how to get out. And there's a door. So we will start off first in this room with Paul and Darius and Jorna, in which it is a very small room you have found yourself in. It is plain. It looks as someone may have been there recently. There's food and a small desk, and it's kind of got a piece of parchment on the top. There's also an inkwell with a jar with an ink refill near it. The chair is lined with fox fur backing, and the seats are underneath, and there's a painting of a nature scene. There's absolutely nothing of value in this room. And go ahead, what do you do?
So you've been here before?
Nope, this is a new room.
Not the animal menagerie.
This is Paul, Darius, and Jorna.
All that stuff.
Can I-
Paul has his stethoscope out and he's like going up to Darius to try to prod him to
A
listen
good
to him.
doctor, please. I am not one of your science experiments.
But you have no soul. This isn't fascinating.
Neither do you, but we'll move on from that subject.
But I do have a soul. What are you talking about?
I've seen the look on your face of glee when those get hurt.
It's fascinating.
doctor, scientist, sadist. I guess they all kind of go hand in hand. So, how shall we leave this room? I obviously have more important things to do.
Joanna, what are you thinking about? What are you doing?
She's honestly like standing in the corner staring at Darius and like kind of trying to discern whether he's dead or alive or what has happened with the soul kind of coming out of his body. She's very much in her thoughts trying to piece together of what she could do to potentially help.
Okay. So, you're stuck in this room.
I'm going to use my uncanny investigative abilities.
So,
And see if I can find any sort of hidden switches or anything along those lines within the room to hopefully get out of here, because Darius is very much feeling looked at.
Is there anything around the door that looks off-putting or fake or anything of the sort?
no, it looks like an ordinary room. A plain old, very ordinary room that looks amazing and like someone has recently been there.
Okay.
I got a 16 for looking around for any sort of clues or anything along those lines.
There's just the stuff that is on the table. There's food, it looks recently eaten. And it's basically a normal everyday bedroom. And there is a stone wall that is right in front of it. There's no obvious doors, nor windows, nor anything that you can possibly see at the moment that would incline you or make you be inclined to believe you can get out. So, do you want to puzzle it out for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will swap on over to Cephalogia, Archer, and Meg, who are in the menagerie that they had put together last week, staring at the work and all the little critters.
Aren't they all on the pedestals now, though?
Mm-hmm. They're all on the pedestals. They still can come to life if you were to pick them up.
But isn't that how we get out? Well, that's how we got out of that room.
Yeah, you got out. You came back to visit it because you were curious about it.
Yeah, what do you know about this room? What can you tell me about this room?
I remember that there were some really awesome little critters that were like not alive, but alive for a second. Like some Jumanji. It's pretty cool.
Sid?
What do you remember about this room?
You want to...
I guess I'll look around and see if there's anything I think might be useful in this room. Like any
change since the last time you were here?
I would need to roll insight or something for that.
Insight.
That is a 16.
You see there is a bull statue that is off to the side. And it is curious because there's only 12 pedestals, so this bull statue wasn't there the last time you were in this room.
A gold statue?
Of a bull.
A bowl.
Bulls. B-U-L-L.
So, there. So, I would tell you guys that. Yeah, I would share that with the party. Well,
go investigate it.
Bull statue.
Yes, you can cast investigation.
Ooh, it's really good.
Done this before, right?
24.
24. So this bull statue, whoever's holding it, suddenly turns into a person. And this person looks worldly, has long hair, is wearing a kilt, has a mace, and is now standing with all of you guys, dusting himself off.
Was not expecting that.
You know this guy?
no.
Oh, but I know you, Cephalogia.
Bull does. All right.
Oh, I'm not a bull. It's just one of my idols that they choose.
So you know about these little critter statues over here, then?
No, I was in a bet with a patron, your patron to be specific, and I won you, and so I came to examine my merchandise.
I got a new patron.
Well, I don't know if I'm your new patron or you're already dead. I haven't figured it out yet. That's why I came to investigate.
Let's try.
If I poke him, is he solid?
Yes,
I do that.
he's a deity. Yes.
He's in our plane and everything, and he's come to see me. Oh, that's really, really neat. Yeah. I'm going to. That's a good patrony thing I got. Yeah. I'm gonna. I'll do minor. Yeah, I'll detect thoughts.
Very cute to try and detect my thoughts, but I am worshipped by so many that wouldn't even be possible. However, you, on the other hand, you're a warlock and an investigator. Interesting, interesting. Well, carry on, do whatever you're doing. I don't mind me. I'm just going to follow you around and be curious about you.
And what's they look like?
He's tall, he's got blonde hair, he's really, really buff on the top, he's wearing a kilt, he's got leather sandals, and he holds a mace, and he was in the shape of a gold bull.
He was in the shape of a bull, and now he's in the shape of some, like, handsome white dude.
With a kilt on. All right. Yeah. So my patron's following me around?
Yes, of course I am. Us gods get very bored. We were playing a game of cards, and we were exchanging, the highest value of merchandise, and that's typically our followers. I won, so I won my own followers back, and I won some of the other guys.
Do I still get the same stuff? What do I get my same? Eldritch Blast. Tried an Eldritch Blast really good, but not at anything in particular. I just want to see how it goes with this new guy charging it.
He does an Eldritch Blast, and instead of being normal Eldritch Blast, it kind of does this ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. It looks like kind of like this big ball of ka-chunk, like a choo-choo train going forward before it hits something. It's more jerky, it's more manual, it's more...
Okay. His insight, he could probably, it's a god, so they could probably tell I'm a little disappointed.
Oh, don't be disappointed. I was a tyrant in my time. That's how I got elevated.
All right. I'm gonna walk around the spooky house now.
Oh, do go ahead. I shall walk with you. Don't mind me. I'm just here observing.
I like this. My patron is my familiar too.
Don't call me that! And he swats you across the room. And
I just got kicked by the bull. All right. Yeah.
roll a dex saving throw.
That is a 12.
And you take 4 damage.
Wouldn't have any interest in helping us get out of this house, would you?
Even some things are above certain gods' level. This was not my tomb, was not my punishment. I can simply but come and visit.
Joyous to hear. Okay.
Do.
Oh my god.
And then there's the silent one over there. Why so silent? Are you scared of me?
he would probably just be like smoking a cigarette, and he's like, I don't want to offend you. So I just watched him like swat cephalogia across the room. Probably be like, best to say nothing than to offend a god.
Alright. Well, off we go. Where are you guys going? Pick a room. I'm sure there's many in this house. It seems like one big problematic vortex of issues.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters. They all change.
I just open a door then and say, after you, to the god, I guess, right?
Yeah, he goes in there. He doesn't even walk. He just snaps his fingers and appears on the other side, waiting for you guys to go.
I want plaid now. He has plaid. I want to be on theme with my new patron. Does he like that?
Plaid, no plaid. It's all from the Highlands of Scotland. Now come on.
Right.
In you all come.
Where are we going?
Into the room.
All right. Follow the god.
I'm holding the door for the two of you.
I go in after towards him. Yeah.
Is Sid a lady or a guy?
Lady.
Lady. That's why it's YD.
So you guys go into the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get into this room, and you see some bizarre commands on the wall. They don't look like anything you've ever seen before. God goes and sits over on the side, sitting there. And the door closes behind you, and you are now in a room with 4 sets of shoes and words on the wall that mean something. And while you're pondering that out, I'm going to flop on over to our other adventurers who are in a room with apparently no way out, and there's just a door.
I cast detect magic to see if the door looks magical.
Yes.
I can't check for traps, so I'm just trying to see if the door looks magically locked.
Yes, it is. Hey! What are you doing? Don't cast magic at me.
We have a
And I will
talking
look.
door.
Yeah, she's gonna like literally just start like put her hands on the door and just start like inspecting it.
Oh my gosh, you're touching!
Oh,
That is not polite!
I'm so sorry. And she'll like back away.
What are you all doing here?
Trying to get out.
That's kind of a rhetorical question, don't you think?
Well, you could be more polite and more friendly.
Can we please
Or
get
we could have the
out?
good doctor here dissect you. Either way, you're gonna open up.
That's a door. I'd rather
And
see
it
what makes
talks.
you tick.
Someone roll me a history throw.
Who's that?
Either any of you or all of you.
I have a +2. Okay, cool. That's a big ol' 6.
No.
Okay.
How does a 23 work?
The door says, all you have to do is know your etiquette. And all you have to do is say please and thank you. If you simply ask me please and thank you, I shall open.
And
we
we
can turn you into firewood.
That's not please or thank you.
I'll like
I go
Put
like
my
this.
hand
I
out.
just go like this. I just go. And like a fireball appears in my hand. You want to open now?
I'm made of stone. You
can
can't.
you please open?
I like her.
Please.
You may pass. And the door.
Thank you.
You literally can walk through the door, but only you.
I will walk through the door.
And you go to the other side of the door, and you can see your friends. But
Paul takes the seat at the chair, grabs the half-eaten sandwich, and just kind of starts eating it. And he's like, "So all it is we just say, 'Please, may I go through?' And then we can go through."
yes, you can. Welcome. Please come through.
I'm gonna finish the sandwich first.
Okay, I'll leave it open for you. It's quite all right. And once you're done, you can come through.
Paul finishes the sandwich like rather quickly, and then kind of cleans up the desk a little bit. Oh, soulless one. Does the lack of soul have cause you any pain?
Want to find out?
Of course I do. That's why I'm asking.
Just go through the damn door.
Oh, well, I can leave. You cannot. See you. And so, thank you very much, door person. And he kind of does a elaborate bow, and he walks through the door.
And he gets through just fine. Everything's cool. And now we are back to our friend Darius, Mr. Soulless.
May I please go through your body?
Why, of course you can. Come through to the other side.
And I go ahead and I just walk through.
Yep, and you guys end up on the other side. And now that you are on the other side, the door says, "Thank you so much. This corridor, it's quite backwards. I don't know if you'll find your way out of it. Nobody ever does. So good luck. There's something about it. I haven't really figured it out because I'm a door and I can't go any further. But you can look through it. There's boxes and there's lights, but the corridor, it gets like an optical illusion. I see it from here where I look. It goes through. As you walk, it kind of has this effect that it's swirling. It's literally the pattern of the hallway. Even though, in theory, it should be stationary.
Like it's literally swirling, or just a paint job gives it that kind of effect?
It's an optical illusion.
Okay.
So while you guys are doing that, we're going to take a little bit of a pan over to the astral plane, where Paul is sitting next to Darius. And they are watching themselves on the big screen in living color.
I'm so sorry about him. I don't know what he's all about. I'm sorry?
Here's a better question. What happened to you, sir?
So, what I can deduce that has happened to me is that when I was transported here, as in there, and he points to the screen, when I was transported there, I was transported here. And whatever is in my body in there is not me, but I guess is me, because he looks like me, he acts like me, he pretends to be me, but instead, I am here.
Yet, somehow you are able to communicate with this creature?
When he sees reflective things, I can sometimes shout out suggestions to him, and as you can see, he does not quite like to listen to me half the time. In fact, I was trying to shout out through him through the there was a reflective surface on that ink blot, thing, and I was trying to tell him not to eat the sandwich, because it was half-eaten. Who does that?
Peasants.
And at this moment...
Peasants or deranged individuals. And that's exactly what is happening here. So yes, I can sometimes communicate to my other self.
And at this moment in time, there is a shaman that comes into your view. She's beautiful. She is clearly a half-orc. She has a beautiful, she's very glowy, and roll me a perception check.
$19.
And I got a 17.
Okay, so both of you being very perceptive on the astral plane because you're watching your doppelgangers / soulless selves walk around, can tell this shaman is not dead. She is simply in literally an astral projection form.
And I just sit there in awe, like, ooh, wow.
Well, I didn't expect to see you here.
Well,
Darius, and who are you?
My name is Dr. Paul Renault.
Hi, Dr. Paul Renault. So,
And
what?
who in the nine hells are you?
You don't remember me?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, I do feel... It's been a long, long time since I've seen you. You were just 16 at the first war. The War of the Wild Coast. When the free city of Greyhawk was trying to take control and help the people. Do you remember that war? Do you remember that time?
There are things about that war that I'd rather forget.
Yes, but there was a war. And you gave people protection, but you got into a fight and you nearly died. You and that other shaman, you warred and you burnt each other up to crispes. Not necessarily physically, but you were so zapped of energy you didn't wake up for weeks. So I was the one that took you in and helped mend you. Before I sent you back to your troops or your unit.
Okay.
You don't remember me at all.
Oh no, I remember you.
Well, that's good. I don't know why you're here or what the gods are doing, but you have...
Well, you see, we're in this funny little place where apparently your soul can get ripped from your body at will. And now I'm here with the good doctor. Meanwhile, our soulless carcasses are running around the city trying to... or town, house, whatever you'd want to call it. And we get to watch it on this viewing device.
Well, so here's the thing. There's someone here that's very important to both of us, and we have to get her out.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
Oh? Do tell who of our motley crew could be of any importance to me. No,
Your daughter!
Present company, I'm sorry, say again?
Your daughter is in this house.
What, is she dead?
No. She apparently...
I have no daughters, and I have one estranged son, which I would rather see burn than ever communicate with.
Well, you're wrong. You're quite wrong, and I will explain why you're wrong 100% in a moment. And so with that, we shift back over to, I believe, it is Cephalogia, Sid, and Archer, who are in a room with boots with weird writing.
With boots with real weird writing.
Yes. And there doesn't appear to be any way out of this room particularly. The boots are just sitting there, waiting for you. There's nothing it doesn't look like there's anything expressly crazy about these boots. They just look like boots.
How many pairs?
4.
4 pairs of boots. Can I read the writing?
You can try. If you get a higher than a 15, you will be able to read one of them.
I
Roll a
will
d20.
try to read from the boots. What kind of check is that?
Just a d20, straight d20, 15.
Oh, that's only an 11.
So while you can't tell what it says, you see this set of boots as you're working with it or trying to detect it. It starts running around the room very quickly. Like, imagine a child running around the room you're trying to catch it, but it's just the shoes.
Do you think we're supposed to put them on?
Do any of these boots look my size?
They look like they look basically like they may fit to your size, yes.
Alright. Your ranger, your boots, what do you think about these boots?
Oh, some nice looking boots, but those ones look like a pain in the ass. The ones that are running around.
I'm gonna try and get a jump on the pair of boots that look like they'll fit me.
Like that.
Yeah, I will go ahead and I'm going to try and turn. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try and I'll try and like mage hand at them and jump on them and grab them. I'll dive at those boots.
Roll me a dex saving throw.
All right, that is going to be a that's a 4.
You fall flat on your face, and the boots drag you around the room.
But I got the boots. Call that a win.
I will try to jump on some and put them on too if they look about my size. Oh. I'm supposed to be good at this. It's only an 8.
So did you go after the same pair of boots that Matt was going, or Cephalogia was going after, or did you pick a different one?
A different one.
So these were not automated, so you can just put them on.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Go catch those boots.
Put 'em on.
So did you put them on?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a dex saving throw.
They were automated.
18.
You levitate up, basically, all the way up to the top of the ceiling, and you are just like levitating like a flying. I always get like if you were on Broadway, they put you on ropes. You're swaying around. You have no control over what's going on because you haven't figured it out yet.
There's one more pair of boots.
Yes, there's 2 more pair of boots. One that Matt's holding, or Cephalogia is holding. One that is now on Sid's feet. She's levitating, and 2 other ones.
Yeah, but one's still just sitting there, right?
2 are sitting there.
Oh, okay. I will empty out a burlap sack from my bag, and I will put it over one of the sets of boots.
These boots sprout wings inside the bag, and give me a dex saving throw.
Uh, 12 or no 10, excuse me, 10.
So basically, you start levitating with these winged boots.
Okay.
And so the god sits there, and he points his finger and touches or waves at the other set, which now are springing across the room like pogo sticks. Spring, spring, spring.
Mm.
You want to roll a perception check, Megan?
Oh,
Because you're the only one who's wandering around like a marionette.
yeah, that's not good. Let's see. Yeah, 7.
Okay, so you don't see anything. Do either of the other 2 want to do a perception check?
It's weird because they all have like different properties. Like one's jumping, one's flying, one's hovering.
Let's say 18.
Okay, so you're sliding along the ground still, I believe. You see a glimpse of something on the roof. You can't see it very close because you're nowhere near the roof. But there is something up on the top of this roof.
What's that? A point, or what's that up there? And I still try and hold on to these boots. I try and like grapple them onto my feet.
Give me a strength. Can you give me a strength check?
That. Okay, a 9.
They're not grappled, but you've got a good hold on them. So
Right.
they're not totally grappled.
Then I point up at whatever I just saw.
All right. So is there anybody going to act on that right now?
I will. I'll look.
I got a 26 on my perception check, natural 20.
Hey guys, we got a big old raid here. 33 people just came in. Welcome, raiders.
Hello.
World Anvil raiding. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are in the midst.
The forge.
Hi guys, welcome, welcome. Light the forge. So we are in the middle of our guys are in a room with no doors that they can see, trying to figure out how to use these boots, and they have a god with them who's simply stalking his future patron. All right, so while you with your 26, you are able to see that there is a clear outline at the top with a something that is able to be clawed out or pulled out to be able to get out.
So we need these flying boots. How do I chill? How do I make these boots chill out? I turn and look to the god and ask him how to make these boots chill out.
You're the commander. The god's like, really? You're the commander of the boots. The boots don't command you. You remember Hermes? Hermes was the messenger of us. Well, the Greek one anyway. Just pretend you're Hermes. You kind of lean forward and you lean backwards.
So then I tell these boots to chill out while I put them on. And now I got some flying boots. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, that's exactly.
Do I see him talk to these boots?
You're right next to him or close to him, so yes, you would.
I tell my boots to
Okay, so I fly up there and I have a rope so that everyone else can climb up.
Relax.
You'd have. What is your strength?
It's not great.
If you don't have a strength above 12, okay, so roll one. Roll your strength save and see what we do.
Strength save?
Yeah. Just.
That's not
I'm
good.
already flying, so I'm gonna try and go towards it.
That's 8.
You have a good idea, but its execution is not going so well. So while you guys are flying around the room and trying to take control of these boots, we're going to shift over to Jorna, Paul, and Darius.
Alright.
It's all spinning.
Yeah, is it actually spinning, or can I do like a perception to see like if I can see past the optical illusion?
You can do a perception check.
Cool.
Goes around and around. And
18 plus 6, so 24.
So the corridor is not actually spinning. It is simply an illusion made to look like it's spinning. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. It's a 4 plus 2, 6.
So you see, that looks like there's lights kind of on the bottom. They're not bright lights, but you see them there nonetheless.
Okay. I'm going to communicate that.
Okay.
Okay.
There's lights, you say?
Seems to be. I can't make out too much. We're going to have to kind of travel in that direction to get a better look.
You said it's just down that way?
Yeah, it seems to be. I mean, there is an optical illusion, so it kind of makes it seem off, and I'll just like kind of point, and then my fingers start turning with like the optical illusion.
I just, Darius will just start walking down the hallway. Well, no time like the present, my friends. Let's go.
So give me a perception roll, please.
That will be a 21.
So you're able to walk down this hallway just fine until you get to the end, and it opens up into this almost like a ballroom, but it's instead of having a ballroom that you would think with musical instruments, it has gargoyles all around it. And these gargoyles, you're trying to figure out what they mean or what they're doing there. And they're all around the room. There's about 15 of them.
Well, hello, my sentinel friends.
Can we follow down the hallway?
Yeah, I would also like to follow along.
Yes, go ahead and do a perception check.
It's not
21.
And I got a
Paul makes
I got a
it.
14.
Jorna makes it. So everybody makes it down the hall.
As Paul goes into that big ballroom, he kind of just takes note that it's like a ballroom type, and he kind of does like a spin around in front of all of the the gargoyles, and just waves at every. Hello, new friends.
Doctor, I am starting to doubt your credentials in the field of medicine.
And Paul, one of the gargoyles, comes to life, and he comes down off of his pedestal, and he walks before you, and they're about 2 feet. They're not huge. They're little gargoyles. And he comes up to you, and he does a little bow and extends his little hand.
Oh, and you should never doubt anything you don't quite understand, Darius. And then he takes the hand and just whatever happens happens.
And the gargoyle takes your hand and leads you back over to his area, and the next one starts to come to life.
When you say his area, by what do you mean?
I was just gonna ask the same thing.
His pedestal, his where he had been. Like they're kind of propped up. So gargoyles typically they kind of arch.
How far? I was gonna say, how far, like, off the ground are these pedestals? Are they like big and tall? Are they kind of small? What size are the gargoyles?
They're different size, like on pedestal wise, between 2 to 6 feet or so. And the gargoyles, they're only about 2 feet tall, so they're little gargoyles. But they're all perched up differently. Like there's some that are leaning over. There's some that are like on the side of it holding the thing. There's some that are in other places. So,
is this place real well kept? Like, is it like just clearly look like somebody's waxed the floor or?
Do me a perception check.
Okay, cool.
I would like to start looking around like at all the other gargoyles while this is going on, because
I got a 21 again.
So it looks like people have come through here before. You see bones. You don't know what kind of the bones they are. You see, like, you can kind of see where there's stones that have been moved. It's not particularly well kept, but it doesn't have like cobwebs or anything.
bones, you say?
Bones.
Yeah, look, there's more bones. More bones.
I bet you they once had flesh on them too, good doctor. You might want to step away from your new 2-foot friend.
And,
I want to kind of see where this goes.
and all of you roll me in initiative.
Ooh.
13.
13. Okay.
I got 9.
15,
That would be a 23.
23, 13, and 9. So at this point, the gargoyles have come to life. All 15 of them. And behind you, you hear this clunk, 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 clunk. And this clunk and clunk, you're going to turn around to see a very large gargoyle with the hunching at you. What did you...
Do we get like a surprise round or anything like that, or is it just straight up into initiative?
You can have a reaction because you can hear it. It's literally like King Kong shaking the room.
Okay. Then I would like to cast Fairy Fire on especially the large one and all the other ones that are in a 20-foot cube around it.
Okay.
And as she does this, everybody kind of sees her like put her staff down. Her staff glows, and it's got all these like crazy mushrooms on it. And on the top, there's a cluster, and you see it kind of radiate, and then all of the freckles on her body start to illuminate, and then they shoot out the same green light onto whatever she's casting it on, and now they're all outlined in like this green fluorescent light.
Okay. So roll to hit.
It just says, hold on. If it fails a dexterity saving throw for the duration, it's affected. So
It's
I
a
just
pulse,
cast.
right?
Yeah. So it says each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light. If it fails a dexterity saving throw for the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius.
Okay, so he failed the big guy failed his dexterity saving throw. The little gargoyles seem to be pacified a little bit because Paul was kind to them, and they just wanted their hands shaken. Or shaking,
Okay.
rather. So...
Also for Paul and Darius, any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. Just so y'all know, too.
Okay.
Cool.
So, go ahead with initiative. Kurt, or Darius, you're up.
Fireball. Well, my bad. I'm gonna cast Firebolt at him, and I will be hitting him. Okay, so that is a nat 20 plus my modifier of 6, so 26.
Okay. So, that hits. And roll the damage. Low down foot. It is in the island of Roanoke, which was brought here by a portal realm, pocket realm.
17 points of damage.
17 points. Okay. And 13, you're next.
Okay, so I'm going to... Sorry, I'm getting used to this. I'm going to cast Infestation. It says you cause a cloud of mites, fleas, or other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range, so I'm going to do it on that big guy. It says the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 poison and move 5 feet in any random direction. And I have to roll a d4 for the direction.
He's a stone. So, let's see. Okay. He got a 6.
Okay, that doesn't make it.
Okay.
So, maybe roll a d6. I got a 6.
Okay.
And then he's pushed... I need a d4. Where are my d4? I have 1d4. How is that possible? He's pushed... That's a 3, which is east.
East. Okay, so he's east.
Yeah.
So, he is pushed into about 5 of the little gargoyles and sends them flying, and they're made of stone, even though they're alive, and so they crash against the wall, and all of these pieces of rock and mortar are flying towards you guys with that. He's looking pretty weak. He's looking pretty bad. So all of you have to do dex saving throws.
$18.
17.
Crit fail.
Crit fail. You two are safe, and our crit failer. Let's see what you got. Your shoes become untied. Every time you move to the end of combat, there's a 50% chance you will trip and on your shoes, and they will fall off.
Ow.
All right, who's up next? 9.
That would be me. I turn to my little friend and just kind of give him a look of like, ah!
He takes your hand and he tries to get you to safety. They don't really talk in the same language, but he can kind of understand. He's been around here a while, so he tries to take you to safety.
I follow him, as he's pulling me away, but at the same time kind of look behind me and try to shoot an Eldritch Blast at the big guy.
Okay. Let's see. Roll to hit.
Okay. And then you said I have advantage, right? Because it's fairy fired, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So I'm glad we did that. I got a 23 to hit him.
Okay. He hits.
D10. And so I got a 9 of necrotic, or force damage, sorry.
Cool. And you hit him. Roll to see if your shoes come untied. It's a D6. 1, 2, 3 is yes. 4, 5, 6 no.
They are definitely untied.
Okay. So you do that, and you end up taking... Because
I
you...
tripped and fell.
Yeah. 4 damage.
Wow.
So now it's the guy's turn, and he goes to attack. Let's see, 1, 2, and 3. He goes to attack Kurt, and he picks up one of the podiums where these gargoyles were, and attempts to throw it at Kurt. So roll to attack. He gets a 10.
Nope.
Nope. So you take half damage because the thing whirls past you and hits the wall and comes back and splursh at you, so it's nothing. And it is 2 points of damage.
Cool.
So this guy is looking incredibly ragged. He's kind of sitting there. He's trying to move forward. And there's now 6 little gargoyles over here who have come between you guys. And these gargoyles are now starting to throw rocks at the guy. And we're up to Jorna.
So do they speak common?
They understand common, but they don't really speak. It appears that these guys have been here a long time, so they've seen more than one version of travelers.
Are they considered beasts? Or what are they considered?
They're considered,
because I know you said they're made of stone, so I'm just...
for the moment they're beasts. They're technically beasts.
Does the big one look imposing at all? Like, does it look like it really wants to fight us, or we're just, like, knocking it around for no reason?
He looks distressed more than anything.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. And on my turn, I'm going to, like, hold my staff up to it, because it's still, like, glowing and, emulating light.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold my staff up to it, and I'm gonna say, how long have you been here? And if you tell us what you know, we will not hurt you anymore.
Roll me a D100.
Oh, I got a, that's a percentile. I was like, I don't have dice like that. I got 12.
He comes down from being imposing. He's hurt. So he's now in front of you, and he takes out this treasure, this jewel or something, and puts it in front of you, and smacks his hands on the ground. So it's shaking all you. You're all watching everything bobble up and down.
Can I go up and can I, like, approach him and this jewel?
Yes.
Okay, so I will go up and do that. Can I attempt to reach for the jewel?
Roll a investigation check.
Okay. That's 11.
He lets you, but he's still kind of pouncing his hands.
I'm gonna bend down and get on my knees in front of the jewel and in front of where it is, and I'm gonna look at it in its face and just say, can you tell me what this is, and can you tell me what this does?
So your eyes turn white as you look at it, and it is obviously that this gargoyle, this is a human who's been turned into a gargoyle by magic, and his human self is trapped inside this stone, and the only way to release him is to do something with the stone.
I immediately take the stone and I just smash it as hard as I can on the ground.
Okay, everybody roll me a dex saving throw.
17.
13.
14.
Okay, you're all saved. So, what happens in this room, it turns into a tornado, and it doesn't hurt you. You can see everything flying through. You may, like, it gets close to you, you're doing this ducking and dodging, and you all do it effectively. And suddenly there's this human laying on the ground in front of you. And while we do that, we're going to pan over to Cephalogia, Archer, and Sid, who are wrestling with their boots.
I'm gonna try and angle to fly up through that hole that Cephalogia pointed out.
Okay, how's it going? So you would roll a investigation check.
An investigation?
Because it's investigating to see if you can actually get into it.
Yeah. Oh, 21.
You make it through. So, what about Cephalogia and Archer? You are muted, can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
I step back and let him go first, and then I want to go to there, but
Okay.
Got them winged boots. So what do I give you?
Yours is Dex, because you have the winged boots, so it's a Dex.
That's much better. 20.
You conquer your shoes, and you are able to fly up to the hole in the ceiling effectively.
Yeah.
all right. So
Did you roll 2, Cephalogia?
okay, that is what is my number? What am I looking for? What?
You just roll it. Just Dex, since you were on the floor.
Oh, Dex. All right, that is a 12.
12. You make it up there, and the shoes lose power, so you end up hanging off the side. You barely made it up there, and you're hanging on for dear life.
Could one of you guys
I
help
would
me?
definitely reach
Sid.
down and give her a hand.
Okay. Roll a strength check.
That is 12.
Okay, so between Cephalogia being able to hold on and your strength, you pull her on up. So now you are in a room in which you are seeing a small altar with burning candles, and you get the impression that someone may be mourning here. There's something in here about mourning.
Okay. Is there like a picture of someone around these candles?
Perception check.
Are there any unlit candles?
Perception
I don't
check.
9.
There are unlit candles.
They're unlit candles. I'm going to go ahead. Let me do that with thaumaturgy.
Mine was a 17.
There's
Prestidigitation, start lighting some candles.
Thaumaturgy.
there is
You light candles.
there's a coffin in the room.
Yeah, I'll
There's a
help.
coffin in the room.
Yes,
Hang on.
Sid rolled a 17, which puts a coffin in the room.
Okay.
And what you said, that explains why this room is such a
So,
bad.
what do you do with the coffin in the room? Do you look at it? Do you poke at it? Do you stare at it?
I'll look at it.
Yeah, investigation check.
Does it seem like there's someone in the coffin? Is it nailed shut?
Investigation check.
Guess what that is?
I'm good.
Nat 1. You trip
I guess
over.
I have to open it.
Open the coffin.
You
I'll look at
you
it.
pulled a
while
muscle trying to do that. And so you take
It's a 10.
He's gonna
5
open.
damage.
I'm gonna look in while he opens.
I open the coffin with a 12, but I investigate with a 10.
So the
well,
coffin
what?
opens and there's a woman inside, and she sits up. You saved me. Now I must find how to get out of this house.
Are you a vampire?
I am living challenged. Not exactly a vampire, but yes.
How'd you die?
There's a guy in the house. My husband was married to him, or married to me, and he killed me because we got married and we had a son, and he wanted our son, and I sent him away. I sent our son away, and he killed us.
How do you get sent away from here?
There always must be a Lord of Roanoke. My husband was the Lord of Roanoke. It doesn't say anything about the sons or the daughters, as long as they don't come back.
Oh, are you Nathaniel's mom?
Nathaniel?
Huh?
Lord Roanoke?
Yeah.
Which one? There's been so many.
The current one.
Which one's the current one?
Mike's Feast.
Oh, Nathaniel, I might be wrong. Oh, bad name.
It's not. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but no, it's not.
Very in character for Sid, though. She would not remember his name.
Yeah. So, well, no, I don't know how long I've been here. It's Luke.
Ah, Luke.
And so, she's like, I don't even know what day it is, what time it is, what place I'm at. Is this still the 1800? Is this still the 1700s, or when am I? Last time I was out of this coffin, it was... they sent me to the ethereal plane, and I had to sit there and scream.
You got insight? They got a soul and stuff.
They're yeah. Roll up insight.
No, probably don't know that one. That's a 6.
You can't tell if she's even living or dead.
But not. I still believe they aren't a vampire. Yeah. You want to help us? Just need your son. We can do that. We want to help her.
My name's Elizabeth. I have to find out to make sure my child doesn't come back to this place. So wherever Lord Roanoke is, please take me to him.
Sure. Sid?
Yeah. What my
work for you?
You asked Sid or me or Elizabeth?
Sid. Does that work? Does that work for you? Both you?
I think.
Could be a vampire. I personally don't think they're a vampire.
Is there anything else in the coffin?
No, it was just her, and she has a little medallion that says E on it.
Okay. Yeah, we can try. I don't know exactly how to get back downstairs.
Oh, I know how to get out of here. Come on. Let me see. This is the old chapel.
Where'd your god go?
I'm here.
He's just watching.
And he pokes his head down. He's like looking like in the ceiling. You're not doing anything.
My God, my patron is ceiling god.
And he's just looking down. The way out. It goes that way. There's only one way.
All right.
And so Elizabeth takes off running with her dress, and it's very pretty, and she goes off. And so right now we are going to pan over to the astral plane, where we have our good friends, Darius, Paul, and a very mysterious woman. So, okay. Now that you're here, so you're not dead, right? You didn't die.
That's a matter of perspective.
No, because you're not. If you're dead, you can't go back to your body. You just have to move on. So if it's just your soul, you should be able to use some kind of magic to reach out to her.
What kind of spell user do you mistake me for? I was born this way.
Blood magic. I get the feeling this whole house is based on blood magic, and the only way to deal with blood magic is to get in.
Well, as we touch on the subject of blood, would you mind explaining yourself?
You have a daughter. You were there.
I was not, or else I would know this.
I had to send you back to the war. It was about freedom, and we were all volunteers. And I didn't know where you went after the war. Greyhawk is not the smallest place to go search for someone.
Well, apparently I must have left a lasting impression.
Yes, I've been able to see our daughter. She's the most amazing child. She has all of your strength and tenacity, but she's quite intelligent.
Okay. And who would this be?
Oh, I'm sure you can figure it out. I have to help you. Have you tried to get near?
Yeah, there we go. How about you do something useful instead of speaking in riddles? How about you get myself and the good doctor back into our bodies there, shaman?
You see what he's doing to my body? He ate spoiled food.
Well, we don't quite know if it was spoiled.
Oh, there's a raid. Welcome, raid party of 4. Welcome.
Ah.
Thank you, Low 505.
He ate chewed up. I don't know.
Well,
very well, shaman. How do we get back to our bodies?
Yes, please. I would like to desperately get back to my body.
Since you obviously are not gonna die.
So she walks over and kind of does this scanning thing on Paul. Did you have an accident when you came to this island?
I did as I was instructed. I, had the glass item and I smashed it. I stepped on the item, and now here I am here, and that thing is in my body there.
You still haven't quite.
That was a psychic storm.
I don't know, Darius. I don't know.
But hold on, I feel like there's psychic energy, which it's too much on you. It shouldn't be this much. It would indicate an accident of some kind. When you were changing planes, do you? Psychic storms sometimes cause this, and it's usually permanent, which I don't know.
Cannot believe that it would be permanent.
Darius, you have to get back to save her. We cannot let her die in this mansion.
Who? You confounded woman with twisted words? Who?
Your daughter, Jonah.
Oh, get the hell up out of here.
She's an amazing druid. She's talented.
You talking about the girl with the mushrooms growing out her head? That ain't no kin of mine.
Yes, she is.
I'm sure that's a condition. If I could get back and I could assist.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know what? This is what's going to happen. You're going to send myself and the doctor back to our bodies, and then I'm going to call my fellow investigator, Mari, and then we will determine.
I might be able to send, I might be able to try, but your body is very prone to possession right now, and there are so many ghosts in the house. I wouldn't be surprised if you're already possessed. I can't put two souls in the same body, and
oh, yes, you can.
I don't think I can.
Mm-hmm. I went to this place one time. I seen it.
So, are you suggesting that the thing that's inside my body has to die?
No, I think it's a doppelganger, and it's in other worlds. I've read about this idea that there can be two parts of a person, and if there was a storm and it's fractured you psychically, you have to die to get back together. You both have to be on the plane of existence at the same time. to merge, and then hopefully somebody resurrects you. But that is difficult to do, and the only person that has that power in that house, I'm not even sure they know they have the power in the house to do such a thing.
Great.
The Lord of Roanoke, the real Lord of Roanoke, is actually the Duke. He's of royal blood. And
Are we suggesting
likes
that
to-
the man who removed his soul, or the other one?
there's just a royal Duke in there. I don't know which one it is. I can only focus on Jonah and short periods of time.
Right.
I will try to send you back, but you may not end up in the right body. You may just end up being another ghost walking around the house, and it won't be for long. You have nothing to tether you. There's no vacant bodies in that house.
Oh, there's one.
It's not vacant, I'm telling you. I can try. And so she swirls up something and tries to send you back. And instead, you end up in the butler's body. And his soul is now shot over to the astral plane. And Paul now has the butler as a friend. And you remember very limitedly whatever happened on the astral plane. Very small bits and nothing significant. You may remember Paul because you spent a little time with him, but you don't really know what you talked to Paul about. So
I am suddenly back in another... Wait, whose body am I in now?
you are in the butler's body, and his name is Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts.
But you don't remember much. You know that you know that you got put back. You don't know who put you back. You don't know. Everything you may have thought you knew. It is a very far distant, vague memory, and the only thing you might remember is Paul.
Right.
And so while we're dealing with that, we're going to go back to Elizabeth, who is with Jorna and Sid and Archer, who are with Elizabeth, and they are running down the stairs. And when they smack
Cephalogia, it's not me.
So sorry,
I'm-
Jorna. Cephalogia.
Okay.
They are running down the stairs because that's where Elizabeth goes. She looks like she's just running down the stairs, and she's going towards Lord Roanoke and smacks into him. Lord Roanoke, where is my son? And you guys, what are you doing?
Watching.
Is this your son? It's not your son. Lord Roanoke is not your son.
What is your name? And he tells her, where did you find this crazy ghost?
This is a ghost house all over.
Yes, you're not doing a very good job of getting rid of them and letting me leave this island. What? And she goes, well, how long have you been on this island? 13 years. 13 years. 13 long years. No, my son...
Doing a better job of getting rid of these ghosts?
So it's not your son. Is this a grandson?
I don't know. I don't... When were you... My son is somewhere. I don't know where. His father would have given... His father didn't know, and Elric was going to kill us, and Elric put me in a coffin. I don't know what he did with my husband. And Lord Roanoke goes, you had to pick somebody that's in my family that's dead. I already knew this happened, Cephalogia. You're supposed to be excellent at your job. And you, Gloomstalker, aren't you good at tracking things?
Monsters, not ghosts. Terrible at tracking ghosts.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you go help Miss Pip in the kitchen? If you're not going to track ghosts, at least go cook food. So he kind of orders Archer to go cook food.
Do I, yeah, I guess I walk into the kitchen, help the ghost make ghost food.
You gotta put a bonnet on.
And as you're noticing in this kitchen,
Right, wash my
You're gonna
hands.
wash your hands.
As you start touching things in this kitchen, you start getting a strong pull to go to the basement.
Okay.
Got dragon raided.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go grab some extra stuff from the basement, and I go down to the basement.
And you go
So-
into the basement, and you hear the top door slam shut and lock, and you fall into a cellar in the bottom. Like the floor just goes, pulls up from underneath you, and you fall into a cellar.
Oh, nice. All right. Well,
So meanwhile, Cephalogia and Sid are dealing with Lord Roanoke. No.
I don't hear anything go on in this kitchen. Okay. Lord Roanoke.
No, you hear nothing. Archer is quiet. He simply goes down the stairs, which would be on the opposite thing. It's an everyday occurrence. It's not an abnormal noise.
Where's this ghost kid at?
There's no children that are ghosts. At least I don't think so. I've never seen children. There's never children here. They always leave the island.
Okay, so how would one go about leaving the island if one was a child?
The child would have been small, a toddler, at best.
Alright.
Well, if there was a Lord Roanoke, the curse just says there has to be a Lord Roanoke. And as long as
Lord
there...
might not be dead, right? Or he might not be a kid.
Perception check. History check. Whichever you're better at.
whenever time's all messed up.
Okay, 17.
So it's obvious that she's not as old as she thinks she is. She's very time confused. And it's possible her son could still be alive. The thing that you guys can perceive is it's obvious that this Lord Roanoke is not her son.
Alright. So we need to teach this ghost what time is.
Yes. She doesn't
Okay.
have, she has no, she was in a box, she was in a coffin, and time lost all meaning.
On this coffin lid, were there scratch marks, or is she just like chill? in there?
She was put in a state of just endless time.
Alright. I'll-
If I can.
What's-
I don't know what year it is, but I'm gonna tell her what it is.
Just tell her it's 2019.
It's 2019.
2019.
I can't believe it's current year and you're still doing this, Ghost. In current year.
Oh. Well, that was 40 years ago. 30 years ago. 30 to 40 years.
Alright.
How did time go so quickly?
Time flies when you're magically frozen in a coffin.
Well, help me find my son, and then I
Your
can...
son's gonna be a little older now. You can do that math, right?
Yes, we were taught math in school. You didn't have...
Your son.
My son would be 30?
Alright, cool.
Okay. Lord Roanoke. Oh my god. Get this. You might be my ancestor, but now you're annoying me. Go.
That's no way to talk to your ancestor.
I am going upstairs. It's your job to save the day.
Is Roanoke alive?
He eats and stuff.
For storyline purposes, I will not tell you that.
He eats and stuff. I don't know. Why, you want to check?
I don't know if we can help you find your kid, because if he's not here, which you
No.
hope isn't here, we can't leave. Unless you can help us leave.
I got someone off this island before. There is a Lord Roanoke. There is a way off. It's just very... If you are of the bloodline, you can't leave. But as long as there's a Lord Roanoke, you might be able to. Are you related to the family? To my family?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then we pan over to Archer, who is still in the basement, stuck in the thing. And he is down there, and he is surrounded by porcelain dolls.
In the basement.
In the basement. And
Not creepy at all.
and these porcelain dolls are moving around.
Can I talk to them? Do they answer when I talk to them?
Investigation check, yes.
Porcelain dolls.
That's a 16.
You are curious. You bring things to the house it does not have. Come.
Style.
We will keep you safe. We will make sure you are not hurt. And these little porcelain dolls kind of start trying to walk and take you to a safe place that they think they're taking you. So while we're doing that, we're going to pause. And we are going to go side view here to Darius, who is now in Lord, or in Mr. Roberts' body. And what is he doing?
Shit. He is going to try and see if he can find a way to track down his soulless body.
Alright, so you're going to head towards your soulless body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So go ahead and start walking somewhere.
Alright. So, I'm gonna go that way.
Okay. So you're going that way, and you run into the group of Jorna, Paul, and Darius, your actual body.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys see Mr. Roberts coming up, looking determined at you guys. What are you all doing? You're supposed to be helping get rid of this ghost problem we have.
Wait a minute. I didn't say that.
I know. But that's kind of what he said. Like, he's still in his body. You're just occupying it. You're defying the laws of occupation.
I'm piggybacking somebody. This is weird.
Sir, would you mind bringing us a round of drinks for everyone? I believe it would ever calm everybody's nerves today.
Why do we have nerves? Well, you finally got rid of these gargoyles. And who's that?
While this is going on, can I keep an eye on Darius and see how he looks? Like his corporeal body?
Yeah.
How can I, with my passive perception, is there something that I pick up on with a 21?
He's kind of just hanging out, and he doesn't really care. He's going through the motions. He's not too keen on finding himself or his soul. He's rather liking this, no, rebel without a cause. Do what I want, when I want, how I want.
Does he look like spacey? Does he look anything like out of sorts, or does everything look kosher?
Spacey, and he's getting gaunt. Like, you notice when he first came to the house, he wasn't so gaunt looking. Now he's starting to get gaunt looking.
Okay. I'm just gonna move a little closer to him so that I am in front of him and he would be flanking me.
And
I'm just keeping a watch. I'm just being quiet and kind of maneuvering myself in between the other two people and Darius.
So the ghost who you brought back from being a golem, a gargoyle golem, comes up, and he looks exhausted. And he is sitting there looking at you. I don't know why the other adventurers didn't help me. Wow, they were all scared of me. The lord of this house is very vastly creative with how he tortures people. He finds what makes them fearful and sticks them in golem-like shapes and whatever they did. You helped me and these 12 others, and we can never repay you for your bravery. So, here is a token of what we were given. And he hands you a little bag of little stones. Probably whatever he got from when he came into the house and wasn't able to leave. And in a bright flashy light, this ghost moves on. So at this point, Mr. Roberts is standing there. And what is he doing? Kurt.
Oh, do I have control now?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. Here we go. I am not who you think I am. Okay? This is Darius. I met a creepy shaman somewhere, and that's not Paul. That is not Paul.
Servant, please. I told you, I would like to have some more, a drink, maybe a nice sandwich.
I've seen him on the astral plane, and I know I can tell you that is not Paul.
You are such a strange creature. You must. And he pulls the stethoscope out again and starts to walk towards Mr. Roberts, like, ooh, let's see what's going on inside that brain.
I am not a science experiment, sir. You are an imposter.
I am Dr. Paul Renaud. That's who I am.
No, you are not. I have met the actual Dr. Paul Renaud, and you are not him, sir. You are not.
But you are just a lowly servant. That's what you are.
Trust me when I say you need to kill him. You need to kill him so the real Paul Renaud can re-inhabit that body.
And meanwhile, Darius' body is...
Yeah, like, what is his body doing? Because I'm looking back at his body. Okay, so, like, I'm looking back at his body, I'm looking back at this guy, and then looking back at his body, and then looking at Paul, and I'm just kind of, like, doing this, like, back and forth thing. And anytime somebody talks, she just, like, is putting her staff, like, near that person. And she's in this weird triangle. That's how I picture this.
He don't look like me, but he sure as hell sounds like me. I mean, I do what he says. Sounds good to me.
And at this point, Mr. Roberts takes over the body once more and says, "What on earth are you guys calling me up here for? Your wine is in there, you have rooms, do your jobs." And he turns tail and at this point, Mr. Roberts basically expels Darius back to the astral plane.
I would like a sandwich still.
Yes, there will be Miss Pips for dinner.
And here I am again. How you doing, Paul? I'm back.
You try your efforts were commendable. To call for my own death.
On the thingy.
I did. Yes. And I was trying to scream through the floor to try to get myself's attention, but of course it did not work. The floor is not as reflective as I think it is.
Does that normally work?
He doesn't listen very often, but sometimes I can get his attention.
So we shift over to, at this point, Archer, who is in the basement with a bunch of porcelain dolls that are leading him somewhere.
Sounds cool. Can I hold one of their hands?
They are all like little guys that are like they're helping you. They think they're helping you. They're hanging on to you. They're holding hands. Now, so as
doesn't sound creepy at all.
They take you into this room that has a very large book, a very big history book. It says history on it, like literally history. It hasn't been touched in 500 years at least, but it's sitting there. And what do you do?
That's all that's in this room?
A book on a pedestal, on a book reading, like you would put it up and you'd be able to read it.
What are the little dolls doing?
The book is for you. You must use the book You can save us.
I'll open the book then.
And you get sucked into the book.
Oh, cool. Thanks, little dolls.
So we take a side view over to Sid and Cephalogia, who are now hanging out with Elizabeth, and Cephalogia's patron. What are we doing?
Elizabeth, you're like not a ghost, right?
I'm living challenged. I told you. Let's go find that ridiculous man who put this curse on his house. Have you seen him? He's he's
Yeah,
the...
I don't think we want to go there.
That's a big guy in charge of everything.
Yes,
What's his name again?
he has a tower. Elric has a tower. It's the tower you see when you come to the island. And if you go to the tower, but you have to be a blood relative. If you go to the tower, you may be able to undo this.
Alright. We're down a ranger right now, but this tower.
What happened to your friend? Did he get eaten by the house too?
We're here with like 6 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
You're all going to die if you don't get out of this house. Elric wants your soul, and then when he gets your soul, he puts you in whatever little trap he thinks is funny. And then he takes you and uses it to power his hold over this house.
Patron.
And so at this point, because there was a ghost that moved on, you are going to suffer the ripple effect, so roll me a d100.
And, that's a 060, just a straight 60. Or is that a 600?
60.
60. So one of the target's eyes is replaced by a 500 GP sapphire.
My middle eye.
Okay.
My extra eye.
Alright, so what are you going to do with your extra eye?
I got a shiny sapphire in there now. I like it.
Awesome. Sid, what are you doing?
Do I have to roll one also?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was a everybody.
And now I just had my little eyeball buddy.
Wait. Yeah.
Oh, fancy. Patron, thank you so much. I love it.
Did you roll what was your number?
10.
10. So you disappear from them, and you land on the ethereal plane. And on the ethereal plane, you are going to meet somebody that may or may not know you.
Again.
This on the ethereal plane, Reed Woodward comes up to you, and he's very, working class. He looks fairly like 1900s, early 1900s, and he looks at you. What are you doing here? It's not your time to be here.
I have no idea.
Elric, in that damn house. How did you get here?
I have no idea.
Why?
I was there, and then I was here. This is the second time this has happened. Only last time I went somewhere else.
The house is trying to keep a failsafe from happening. Elric knows. Be careful. Just be very careful. Don't do anything unnecessary. If you do, you will end up trapped here like the rest of us.
I don't even know what's necessary, but I will try my best.
I worked a very long time with Elizabeth. We were friends before Elric came around, or figured it out. In order to save this house, in order to understand how this house works, the last heir of Roanoke must die And it is not the current Lord Roanoke. He's an illegitimate, some weird line that isn't even in our family tree. There's a book. If you find the book, it has the family tree. Kill the last living heir. Make the bloodline end. If the legitimate bloodline ends, he ends.
Oh, okay. Is the heir in the house?
I don't know. It's hard for me to get to the house. Elric thought it was amusing and fractured my own soul, and I am on different planes that interchange with each other, but never overlap, so I can't put myself back together. But if you find all the engravings with the E marking, Elizabeth had them. I might be able to put myself back together to help you more. So as that is going on, we are back to Darius and Paul in real time with Jorna.
You think he's going to bring me my sandwich?
No,
I-
sir, I do not.
I wouldn't think on that, no.
Well, so what is going on now?
I think that's a fair question for us to ask of you.
All right, here we go. So, I don't know, Paul. This is a ghost that happens to be in the room. Why do you like mirrors? I've heard people talking about mirrors and you liking them. Have you been to the Grand Mirror?
Oh no, I have not been to a grand mirror.
If you go down the hallway, if you go into the mirror, or through the mirror, there's a music room. They say that one of the greatest pianists in Greyhawk history is trapped there. He came here to play a requiem, and now he's stuck. But if you go through that mirror, it is entirely possible that you will be able to free them. Although sometimes it seems like he's just scratching to get out. I don't know if it's him or if it's a demon or a ghost or whatever it is. But I have to go back. I'm tethered to the kitchen. That is where I was working when I took my leave of this world. Go find the pianist. He's the next one in the order. You've moved on 50 of us. This house can't hold on to its strength if you keep continuing to do this at this rate.
Well, aren't we quite productive?
So what is Jordan doing?
I don't think I quite understand your humor, so.
Yeah, Jorna's kind of just staring wide-eyed at everybody. She's just kind of taking everything in. She's not cool with the fact that everything seems to be dead, and or people keep to be shifting into dead and not dead. She's honestly overwhelmed, more so than anything else. She's very overwhelmed on how to help or what to do, or how to even feel about the situation.
So are we going through the magic mirror down the hall?
Yes.
No, Jordan's not going.
Paul takes a full sprint towards the mirror, but forgets that his shoes untied and then does another trip and fall.
Only a dex saving throw?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay, so you take full damage, 4 points.
I should probably do something about those while I'm down here. And he ties his shoes again.
Awesome.
Come, my mushroom-headed friend, we must away to the mirror.
I don't think I'm gonna.
Not giving you an option.
Maybe I should keep watch. Somebody has to protect the mirror, right?
Every time we have walked through a wall, we end up somewhere else. That's how today started. So I imagine we just gotta keep walking through walls.
And so at this point, Jorna, you look over to the magic mirror and you see the reflection of a very beautiful half-orc that is not you.
Do I recognize this half-orc?
She's your mother, Falma.
I think at that point she wouldn't even say anything to Darius, and she would just turn around and silently walk into the mirror.
And so you go to this mirror, and in this beautiful room, you see a dozen or so pianos. And you see music sheets that are spreading all along the floor. And while you ponder what to do with that, we will go back to Archer, who is now inside of a book. So as Archer, you are inside of a book. What are you doing in the book? It is like another world, except you can see all the text in this book from you being in there. And your little doll friends have followed you in. Can't hear you.
I asked the little dolls where they usually start when they read the book.
We start here at the end. You see, here was the last Roanoke. They messed it up because it shouldn't say that. There was a baby, and the baby got taken away, but they made it up. Somebody decided to put the wrong names in there, and it's Grayson was the Duke of the island, but he had a son, and Elizabeth stole it, but they didn't put that. They changed the name. Grayson's not even on there anymore.
So what do we do?
We have to figure out how to get rid of it. We can't. We're just dolls. Our hair is made out of the people that passed on.
Well, that's freaky. Thanks for sharing that. So they like step away, an extra step away from the dolls that I did think were cute moments ago.
Why are you leaving us? Don't leave. Everybody leaves us, and we never get to get out of here. We're supposed to be resting in pieces, and we can't rest in pieces if we're stuck in here.
So can I write in this book then?
Yes.
So I'm gonna write Grayson into the book. They told me the name, right?
Yep. So you wrote it, and roll me a Arcana check.
It's probably not very good. Not great anyway. Skills. I don't think I have Arcana. I sure don't. That's a 12.
So even though you don't have the skills, the book glows. Like, you're inside the book, so you kind of see it like being a bright light. And you're like, what is going on? And as that happens, you start to realize that this family tree is changing with that one thing. And you start to see it's correcting itself. So, leave you to that. And
So like a vine starts growing up the family tree.
So the family tree was not right because they took out Grayson and Elizabeth. And so when you put them back, it started to grow how it's supposed to, with names and blocks and things going in different directions. And you yourself at this moment feel quite empowered. Not sure why. So, while we're doing that, we will go back over to Sid and to Cephalogia.
Alright, so we gotta find this proper heir, kill him, and this will all stop happening, and we'll be able to leave.
That is what we believed would help. But no one could kill the Roanoke heir. Elric protects them. He makes them safe. And as long as they're safe, he can kill them when he wants. The house needs an heir. And when the last one dies, he becomes immortal. But that only happens, we think, based off of our research, if the house doesn't get emptied of ghosts first.
So we gotta empty all the ghosts, then kill the heir, then we get to leave.
Right. And so at this point,
Ah.
you see the lights above your head, which are all flames from candles. They all light up and shoot towards the ceiling, and all the candles fly across the room.
That's not normal.
Alright. Where are we at now?
Who threw those
Oh.
candles? Well, why would you throw those candles? She looks very poignantly at Sid.
I did not throw the candles, I don't think.
I may be dead, but I can still see magic, and I saw you whoosh them away.
Sid, are you a ghost?
What?
Did I know of?
What are you? Are you a ghost? Are you just tricking everyone here?
Would I know if I'm a ghost? Do you know if you're a ghost?
I know I'm a ghost because I was trapped in an endless slumber. And
I mean, I crushed a bead and came here, so if I'm a ghost, I would not know it. And I feel like I would know.
And Caleb Hayward, who is also trapped in the house, he doesn't have a lot of corporeal features. He has, he can interact a little bit, but he's very not figured out how to deal with this. And she says, and he just comes out to the wall, and you just see him briefly. She's not a ghost yet. And goes back away.
That is so not comforting. Alright, Seth, what do you think we should do?
Get some ghost out of here, but not this ghost. Where's the ranger at?
We went to the kitchen last I knew. Do we go regroup?
Very gloomy of him. All right, the kitchen. So we just got this ghost following us around, and my patron, right?
Mm-hmm. So are you going to the kitchen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see Miss Pip. Oh, are you hungry? I have some rolls and croissants and some steaks and some ham. What would you like to eat? The gentleman, the other gentleman, he's getting wine, I think. Or I'm sorry, what?
You saw where he went?
Yes, he's downstairs. He went down there some time ago. I figured he's getting drunk. That's what they always do. They go down there and sit and drink. Glug, glug, glug.
It's pretty gloomy.
Alright. So I'll just yell down there for Archer, get up here. Now.
Nope.
What are you doing?
Archer can't hear you. At all.
Sid, you want to
Yeah, let's
down
go
the
down there and
steps?
take a look. I'll go down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll grab a thing of ham now. If I
Okay,
can go.
so does Sid go down first?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Cephalogia close behind her or no?
Close-ish, like 3-4 steps.
So the minute that Sid steps in, the floor bottoms out and she falls through it into the same pile of little dolls that Archer fell into. And you are left standing there.
Sid, where'd you go?
Can't hear him.
Oh, can't. They just down there. Mind? Oh, let me see.
Perception check?
Yeah, perception. All right, that is a 10.
You physically saw them or saw her disappear, but there's nothing there. There's not a hole in the ground. And Elizabeth looks and walks around it, and she doesn't fall through it, and she can't even get through it. And your patron is just sitting above your head, looking down from his rooftop ceiling, doing this, not saying anything.
I want to poke at where she fell through.
Go ahead, investigation.
Okay, that one's better. 19. Oh, wait, investigation, sorry, 24. 24.
So you definitely see that it's possible something could be under there, but you don't understand how Sid just walked in there and fell straight in through the floor. So you have to think about how you're going to get down there. And in the meanwhile, we go down to Sid, who is with the dollies in the under basement. Oh, 2 visitors in one day. We are so intrigued. Come, help us with our book.
A book. You said a book.
It's a book, and there is a person in the book.
Okay. Does that book have like a family tree in it?
It is a living tree.
Wonderful. Show me this book.
And so they grab onto you, and these dolls saunter down the hallway. And there's this book on a pedestal, and it looks like an ordinary book sitting on a very big pedestal. And it says history book.
Okay, I'm gonna open the book.
And you get sucked into the book. So you and Archer are now both inside the book. And while you're going to be stuck inside the book, we are going to go to the astral plane, where Paul and Darius, as well as Thelma, are sitting there commiserating.
He's just staring at me. He's staring at me through that large mirror.
Mm-hmm. He can see you. He knows you're there. At least I think. That's how that mirror works.
Oh, yes. He definitely knows I'm here.
And you can see him on the other side. And he tells you, "Don't worry, I'm taking good care of us."
I don't believe you are.
I wonder if
Don't listen to me.
I wonder if maybe we hurl you at him when there's a mirror and y'all are looking at each other. That like you might just like zap into the body.
Don't believe it works that way.
I'm shooting in the dark. Yeah.
I appreciate the possibilities, but I've already tried that. I've been here longer than you have, and I've already tried that, and it doesn't seem to be working.
So Darius sits there watching this whole scene with himself being over there, and he starts seeing himself in the other realm starting to cut his hand and dabble with something.
Oh, good. We're gonna stop playing with that shit again.
What are you talking about, Darius?
Oh, well, quite simply, that time that apparently was mentioned during the war, those of us who were gifted enough decided to dabble in blood magic.
Are you the one that cursed Jonah to come here?
Hell, I hope not.
You have to be careful, Darius, because this place eats families.
It apparently eats souls, too.
Is your son here?
I would take kindly if you would not mention him again in any capacity.
You can't hate him forever.
Oh, but I can, and I test you to try.
I'm still living. I can leave.
I'm what? Yeah, that's what I thought.
You're rude. Very, very rude.
Well, has your soul been ripped from your body?
I'm astral projecting. I'm literally ripped from my own body at the moment.
But it's willing.
And clearly you two lane with each other at some point.
Yes, well, I still call that into question.
If you're using blood magic, all you have to do is get our daughter to use blood magic, and she will have enough power to call you to her.
No. Blood magic is a dangerous road that you do not want to go down.
Yes.
And secondly, stop calling her my daughter.
She's your child.
How?
Do the math.
Last time I checked, two consenting individuals must, in order to produce offspring. Did you take advantage of me in my unconscious state?
I resuscitated you back to life. I took care of you. How can you not remember?
In more ways than one, apparently.
You digress. Maybe I can help Paul get back into his body.
Good luck.
What if I send you into the butler's body?
No.
No,
You don't want to go there, Paul. Trust me, you do not want to go there.
Now, clearly, I watched on the screen. You were mocked by my other self. I would probably run up and strangle myself if I could do that.
That might actually...
Would that be a form of suicide, do you think?
That's the way I feel about it.
Okay.
It'd be if I killed myself.
Oh, all of you guys. And you see at this point, Grayson, who is obviously quite on the astral plane with all of you. All of you, this is my house. You all don't seem to understand how this house works. It takes and it gives.
It has yet to give me anything but a headache, so.
Oh, she said you had a daughter, so it clearly gave you something.
And it took my body away.
No, there's two of you. There's also two of me, and there has been for decades.
Say what?
For decades. I'm looking to get decades now. Great.
The only way to get back into your body is to merge it back together on the ethereal plane of existence. And
we're supposed to do that how?
Die.
Oh, wonderful.
And this house won't let anybody die. Not in
right.
So I am trapped, you would say.
Apparently, we need a young priest and an old priest.
So Falma, she at this point smacks Paul's spirit into Mr. Roberts again. And so at this point we are going to side turn to Jorna, Paul, and Darius in the real world.
Ooh, pianos.
What? Are we walking on sheet music? What?
Playing a symphony! I am this crazy looking musician. I don't know how to play it. It's all gone.
What is gone?
My masterpiece. It happened to it. It went places. I don't know where it's at. And if you don't get it back together and you don't play the symphony, the Lord is going to kill me and I don't want to die. Please help me.
Is this your symphony on the floor?
I don't know. He came in and he said it wasn't good enough and he threw it. And
Who was he?
Oh, the Lord of Roanoke.
Which one?
I don't know. There's more than one.
Apparently.
I've been trapped in this room for 100 years. 100 years.
I do not plan on staying here that long.
2 months, 3 hours, and 76, milliseconds.
So I have a question for you. How are we supposed to reconstruct this symphony if none of us are musically inclined?
It's a puzzle. I'm so rattled and nervous that I can't even pick up the pieces to get it up there.
Jorna awkwardly pulls out her drum and starts beating on her drum.
Of course, we have somebody who's musically inclined. Jorna, put that shit away.
She just kind of like bangs on it, and then it just
she
like
can
looks
join my
uncomfortable.
symphony. I know. And he runs.
Jorna, put the drum away.
And
she puts the drum away.
And he runs and brings back a bell for Paul.
Woo! Ding 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 ding.
So apparently you would like to join this symphony eternally, huh? Continue to play that bell.
And then he runs away and comes back with a trumpet and extends it to Darius.
You must be joking.
Would you like the bell? I could try that.
I am not a part of your symphony.
But if you're not part of the symphony, the Lord will kill me. And I cannot play without my music.
At this point, Jorna's gonna walk over to Darius and look him straight in the eye and then poke him in his forehead and cast blindness deafness and make him deaf. Or at least try to.
Roll a d20.
Who, her or me?
Both of you.
Okay.
I got a 14.
I got a 14.
And I got a 14. So Darius is in fact blind and deaf.
No, he's just deaf. He's just,
just deaf.
You can blind or deafen,
Okay.
so I'm choosing to deafen him.
Okay, so he's deaf. And now
Wonderful! More things that are happening to me.
and at this point
I'll just pat him on the head and turn around and like set up my drum again and start like tapping on the drum and then looking back at him and smiling.
and at this point the musician is picking up, because you're playing music, he's starting to pick up his sheets in the right order.
I'll just keep banging on the drum.
And he's looking chill. I can get what I need. This is so
And then
exciting.
I kind of stop for a minute and go like this, and
And then he goes to his piano, and it is a beautiful symphony playing with you guys. Dun, 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 dun. And you start to see what is like a formalized ball in here of ghosts descending from the ceiling and dancing as you're playing this music. And so while you're watching the symphony, we're going to go back to Archer and to Sid.
Okay. Archer, what is happening?
In a book.
You're in
Here.
a book.
So roll perception checks, both of you.
Alright.
25.
Nice.
6.
Okay. Roll a for you, Sid, a d20.
5.
5, okay. So Archer, with his amazing score, sets off this of necrotic energy, and you take 5 damage.
What did you do?
He's undoing the evil. You have much power. Both you have much power. I don't know where you get power. No one comes into the book with power.
And I have her come over and I tell her the name Grayson, whatever his name is. And I just tell her, I wrote this guy's name down and everything around me started like changing and like the tree grew, like doubled in size. And now this family tree is all messed up.
Yeah, they said that the Lord Roanoke wasn't actually the Lord Roanoke, and apparently we gotta get rid of all the ghosts and kill the actual Lord Roanoke, and then all this stuff will stop and we can leave.
And at this moment, there is a line in the family tree that is growing, and it reads Grayson Hayward, and it has Duke of Roanoke Island, and he was married to Elizabeth Hayward, and they had a son whose name was Archibald Hayward.
Archibald Hayward. He's the guy we gotta find.
So they got their kid out of there though?
That's what she said.
And as you communicate some more, another line of the tree grows. And the other line of this tree, as it continues to grow, splits and splinters. And there's dots, which indicate an illegitimate line, which wouldn't have been recorded except for this book. And as it comes down, there is Caleb Hayward. And that is a whole different line. And then there is Reed Woodward and an unknown mother with a line that has Sydney Woodward in it. And as soon as it happens, you get spit out of the book into the basement room where you originally came down in. Laying on the floor was Cephalogia, looking down at you.
We're just laying. It just looks like we're laying on the floor.
You got thrown in there. It looks like you got literally like thrown up through the floor, and you're just it jerked you out of the book and threw you down into the room.
Okay.
That might be a coincidence, right? There's a ton of Sydneys that get pulled into houses. Yeah. Okay. Hey, so
Pulled into magic books. That happens a lot from what I've heard.
yeah.
What'd you two do? Just some light reading, and then I'll grab a jug of wine and head up the stairs.
And at this point, Cephalogia, can you roll a perception check?
Yeah. That's fine. That is 23.
You notice that both Archer and Sid now has a significant tattoo from their wrist up their forearm, and it resembles a family crest.
You guys have tattoos now, matching tattoos now.
So I would have long sleeves on, but still, I guess if he saw it, he saw it.
Well, it's glowing. It's noticeable. It would be noticeable. It's
Oh shit! I got the neons. All right, pull my sleeve down a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
Does this look familiar, this crest?
Yeah, actually, that would be very interesting to me. I'd probably unbutton it and roll my sleeve up and look at it.
It is the crest of the Dukes of Roanoke. It is the family crest. The same crest that you saw inside the book when you were in the family tree.
You got that Roanoke crest. Sid, you got that Roanoke? Let me see that. So they both got that Roanoke crest?
Yeah, it wasn't burned into their arm. It's kind of like it.
They just giving out glowy Roanoke crest down there? What happened?
I mean,
I don't know. We were reading some book. And then we fell on the floor.
You're just reading the book and you fell on the floor and you have the glowy thing.
Sid,
is that... What do you remember down there?
well, some more names appeared in that tree, and then basically,
Tree?
yeah.
the book.
Family tree, which means I'm part of this family, which means I can't leave. That's great.
Are you the Lord? I think we're looking for you. Yeah, one of you. You the Lord?
I'm not the lord of anything.
Alright, so that's cool. You guys know, let's see what these tattoos do.
And so while you're doing that, we're going to go visit Mr. Roberts, who is attempting to find himself, who is currently portrayed by Paul.
Yeah, so I make my way towards the symphony room.
Okay. And so you go into you, as Mr. Roberts, know better than to walk into these places. Just it's kind of like a muscle memory. So you can watch the symphony, and you see yourself dinging your little bell, and you see Darius doing whatever Darius is doing. Is he actually playing the trumpet?
No. No, he is not.
Okay. So, the musician, he,
His deafness only lasts for a minute, so after a minute, he's going to be blasted with very loud music.
Okay. So, at this moment, Darius, because he's not playing with all the rest of them, gets a vision from holding this thing of a time long since past where the person that's trying to get him to play it was playing it and had stage fright. And you see in your own mind's eye view that he instead of coming to this concert to do it, he ran away like a coward.
Huh.
And then as quickly as you've seen this in your retro view, it's gone again.
Paul, as Mr. Roberts, can remember that the other Paul wanted to have a drink, so he grabs like a wine bottle and is going to trying to force Mr. Roberts to go into that room to maybe do something nefarious to myself.
And he gets into the room and he's able to give out drinks. And the musician is like, Darius, if you do not play, we cannot finish my symphony. It must be ended.
This is humiliating.
Well, I know, but our last person, he ran away and he was caught in a trap. And the only way to free him from his tortural spit roast by Lord Roanoke is to play that trumpet.
So I have to play a trumpet to not be spit roasted, is that what you're saying?
No, you're saving the other trumpeter.
From being spit roasted.
Yes. You're saving all of us.
Alright. I guess. And I'll play and Darius's body will play the trumpet.
Okay. And what is Paul doing? Both Pauls.
So the Doppelpaul is like playing the triangle as really hard and obnoxiously as he can, and the Mr. Roberts Paul takes the wine bottle and using kind of the sound to muffle it, like tries to break the wine bottle to create a sharp edge so he can stab himself with it.
Can you roll me a perception check for the band playing Paul?
Yes, I will. The fun part is that Paul has a pretty good perception, so that's the fun part. But he got a 9 though this time, so.
So Paul, playing the trumpet, sees this, and he, playing his ting thing, he tinks it so fast that there's a surge of lightning that goes through Paul's body, and it sends Mr. Roberts back through the mirror across the thing, and Paul's spirit is back on the astral plane.
So close.
Yeah? How did it work for you, sir?
Electrokinesis.
That's not a word.
But it is, though. I do have a touch of the ability to manipulate electricity, and he built that up, and now I'm here again.
Ah, so did you kill our marionette?
No, I got close though.
Well, we can try again in the next evening. We need the moon power. The stronger the moon power is, the more likely it is we can keep one of you on the plane. Although you don't seem to believe me, Darius, so...
I do not believe I have a daughter in this house. Thank you very much. I would never lay with an orc.
Half-orc. My mother was human.
Uh-huh.
And so she's being a little indignant because you're insulting her.
Oh, I know.
So she takes her hand, she walks up to you, she slams her palm on your head and gives you this whole quick vision of exactly what you did in every score of detail up until the moment of Jorah being born, where she had watched over Jorah as best she could because she couldn't get to Jorah because she didn't know where she was. And then she goes back and we leave you there to suffer with your emotions. And now we're back with Sid, Cephalogia, and Archer.
We got you a magic tattoo. Family tree. That ghost lady. You needed a book, right? Are you looking for a book?
Yes, it's a very old book.
Was that book an old book? Book you saw?
Pretty old.
Describe it to her.
Yes. She recognizes the book, and it is one half of two books. She tells you that's half of it. And you both have the Roanoke crest? That doesn't appear usually. Nobody really gets that falls into that stupid book. It was a rumor. It was a rumor. It was not even true.
So we had the book?
No, the book is downstairs, locked. Like, they already got shut up from where the book was. Does it hurt? I've heard about the book, and she tries to go in her nicely way, basically, to look at it, and she kind of, can I touch your hand and your arm? Can I look at it?
Yeah, let her.
And she looks through it, and she pulls it, and she's looking at it. The house marked you. Ay, you must be one of the illegitimate lines.
Sounds fun.
No, because the house is going to use you.
You can definitely have it.
No, I'm not by blood Roanoke.
So does this mean that they can extra not leave the house?
I don't know. I've never seen the mark. It hasn't happened in at least 100 years that I think I've been here, maybe less. 40 years. I don't know what to do about that.
This house belongs to you guys.
No, I don't know who it belongs to. It belongs to the current Lord Roanoke. But he's an illegitimate line, too. Well...
We have a glowing tattoo?
I don't know that he ever fell into the book. The falling into the book is a legend. Nobody falls into books. No, it's not possible to fall into books. It's only a legend. It doesn't happen. It can't happen.
Remember when I was trying to explain it and it sounded nonsensical? Doesn't happen. It's not a thing. You read a book.
You got a glowy tattoo now. I believe it. Yeah. And it's only half the book they fell into. What if they fell into a whole book? Maybe you get glowy face tattoo.
Yeah, that's
complete the look. So we need this other half of the book then?
There was a rumor there were two books. And both books, one was the family tree and the other half was the curse itself.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
And only somebody...
Wait, let me put Sid and Archer next to each other real quick. And I'm going to just investigate
or genealogy check? Is there any family resemblance here?
Vaguely, maybe cheekbones?
Hmm.
Are they good cheekbones?
Good enough for me. You guys are clearly related. I hope you didn't like ukulele and make out all weird like yet. So just so you know, related. Decided you guys are at least cousins, maybe more.
All right.
And so we
More ghosts.
we pan over to the musical band that is going on. And Darius has started to play the band. Anybody notice that Mr. Roberts went flying? Perception check, please.
Yeah, whether it's perception or passive perception, I'll make that. That's a natural 20. With perception of 6, so 26.
Yep.
That's a dirty 20 on my end.
Okay, you all noticed Mr. Roberts go flying, and Jorna may have or may not have seen Paul's image splatted as it went. Back to
did I or did I not? Because that will hugely dictate my next move.
You saw what you thought was Paul.
Come out of Mr. Rogers.
Roberts, yes.
Roberts. I'm immediately going to stop playing my drum and go up to Paul and put my staff at his neck and look at him and say, "Who are you and what do you want with Paul?"
And before that happens, the band has completed its mission, and the about 20 people or so that had been huddled in this position and this room all move on because the band has completed their thing and have played their song. And instead of being a musical room, it is now just all the pianos are gone, all the mess is gone. It is just a nice room for where parties would be hosted. So
you have solved my music puzzle. Sorry.
I am Paul. What are you talking about?
Darius at this point just walks over, pulls out one of his daggers and grabs Paul's hands. Let's see what color you really bleed.
Fine, go for it. I bleed red just like all of you.
I'll look over to Darius at that moment. And I still have my staff at his throat.
Are you attacking him?
No, I'm not attacking him.
Okay, roll you have to roll attack then.
So would a crit 20 cause me to chop his hand off? Or am I just good?
I think you do exactly what you're intending to do.
You do exactly what you're intending to do. And it goes perfectly.
Ah! Oh.
And he bleeds red.
See? I bleed red just like you. Except I enjoy this pain. As he winces.
I have a question for the DM.
Question. Answer.
If I was to cast Beast Sense on a person who is possessed by an entity, would I be able to see them through their eyes, or would it block me out? Because I can't cast it on another person, but I can't cast it on a beast. Would it work if he's being inhabited by something?
He is still inhabited by himself.
Okay.
It is the superego versus id. And so it's humanoid or technically celestial.
Okay.
Well, not celestial, but on the celestial level of as far as what the magic would be. The pure energy of the human soul.
Okay.
So, no, but really good thing that may come in handy later.
Okay. Yeah, definitely just wanted to know that.
So Paul bleeds. What do you guys do now that Paul is bleeding red?
I'll turn to Darius and kind of like still in this like back and forth, just be like, I saw him come out. His spirit, it looked almost exactly like when you had yours stolen, your soul, whatever it was, came out of Mr. Roberts, and this is not Paul. Who are you?
I think you're sniffing too much of your mushrooms.
I
I'll
think
get-
that
I'll
in the
get even
past
closer at
24
this
hours,
point.
we've seen a lot of crazy shit in this house, and I do not put it past you to be someone who you are not. We all know what my problem is. What's yours?
And Paul, at this point, his hand is dripping blood. And it's kind of getting to be a nice couple drops on the floor. He's not really got anything to hold it with, at least not he specifically said. He was holding it, but not with anything. And the interesting is that it is still red, but it's a different color red than you saw on his hand. If
I'm going to cast Primal Savagery on myself. It says you channel your primal magic to cause your teeth and fingernails to sharpen, ready to deliver corrosive attack. So in this moment, you see like my furrowed brow gets thicker and my fangs get more pronounced, and you see my fingernails, which are gripping my staff, get really long and aggressive, and I'm going to move in extremely, extremely close.
it smells or like psychic energy. Like there is the psychic energy. If it were to be considered two halves of a whole, it feels like it's fragmented or pixelated or something that isn't right. Not that he's not human. It's definitely human, but there's something with the blood sequencing that it has an issue.
I'll look at Paul intently and say, "You are not entirely who you say you are. And until we figure out exactly what is going on and exactly who you are, you do not leave my sight. Is that understood?"
And he just kind of like shrinks back a little bit, holding his hand like this, and he's very well.
And you can see yourself on the astral plane in your blood. You can see it as Paul, seeing Paul, and and whatever Paul is doing on the astral plane to Paul can be told.
And so he look at it like he sees him, and the real Paul is like, almost like, come on, do it. And he just then the Paul that they're talking to looks at it and just goes, "Don't get so excited."
And at this point, do you guys leave the room?
You know, for a doctor, you would think you'd know how to mend that hand.
I can.
Well, I suggest you do it.
Very well. I am healed. Healing word.
Okay, so as you guys leave the room, you are now encountering Cephalogia, Archer, and Sid, who are commiserating about these glowy tattoos. And meanwhile, you guys are having your own adventure, but these ghosts moved on. So everybody roll me a dexterity saving throw.
12.
10.
Okay.
8.
5.
Okay. Archer and Matt. Can't hear you. Muted.
13, sorry.
And I got an 8.
Butterflies emerge from everywhere and swarm all of you. And you get lost in a field of butterflies before they all dissipate.
Are they real butterflies or are they magic butterflies?
Magic
If I
butterflies.
grab a butterfly,
I'm going to try to grab one and shove it in the vial that's tucked around my neck real quick to see if I can capture the magic butterfly.
You roll me dex.
Okay. It's a 17 plus dexterity, which is a 18.
You catch the butterfly, but you also catch something else that's shiny and glowy.
I will put both of them just quickly in the vial that's around my neck and shut it, and kind of wait till later to look at it.
So now you're all together for the first time all day. You managed to find each other in this hallway. What's going on?
Well, hello there, friends.
I got glowy tattoos now. Show them.
We're pretty sure that he's not who he says he is. And I point at the doctor.
I don't think anyone's who they say they are.
Paul, who are you?
I am Paul. My name is Dr. Paul Renault. That's who I am.
He is a liar.
What's
And
my insight with this when he says he's Paul?
What's your passive?
Passive insight, 13.
Anybody who has above or at or above a 15 would believe him because he's technically not lying. Because it is in fact a version of Paul.
Yeah, it's Paul.
No, it's not. It's not Paul.
Who is it?
I saw his spirit or his soul leave another person's body in the room that we just left.
I mean, I met other Paul.
What?
What?
Remember when I blinked out? I told you I met other Paul?
So that Paul is Paul. Now other Paul,
I am Dr. Paul Renault. There is only one, and it is.
I cast hold person.
I immediately turn around and with my primal savagery shove my nails in his chest.
Okay.
Well, hold
Make-
what's
person.
going on here?
Can you make an attack on him, please?
Let's see, hold person.
My AC is 12, so.
That's a 17 or no 19.
You have him held.
Alright, I'm going to, while they got him held, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do detect thoughts.
I have a 14 on hitting him with my primal savagery.
Oh, she's straight up like Ginsu in his heart. This is
Yeah,
good.
I literally have just stuck, because my nails are at least like 4 or 5 inches now. I've literally just shoved them into his chest. I got a 14 to hit.
So both Pauls are now on the ethereal plane. And Paul's body, dead body, is laying there. So we go to the ethereal plane, which is where both Pauls are, to have a conversation of Pauls.
Alright.
Paulception.
There you are, you fiend. You were inhabiting my body, and looks like now I can take it back from you. Why would you want to do that? You're here in the ethereal plane. I was taking care of everything as fine. But, no, you're ruining my good name, sir. Like, how dare you?
And so these Pauls are having a conversation. What are the rest of you doing over Paul's dead body, who is semi-bleeding out at this moment?
I mean, he was other Paul, but I don't know if it quite warranted that.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm still holding him, so he's upright. He's just kind of.
I still have my nails shoved in his chest if he's upright. I haven't taken him out.
Can I have a good berry?
Give me a good berry.
Can we goodberry paste?
Yes. And so back on the Paul plane, both Pauls are talking, and real Paul, because of the good berry of his friends, is able to subdue his inner ego, and they swish past the ethereal plane and return to his body.
If I try to detect thoughts, whose thoughts would I detect? Both of them?
You'll have to see and find out.
I'll detect thoughts. Surface thoughts. Yeah.
Would you mind removing your nails, madam?
Are you still Paul?
I am Dr. Paul Renault.
You said that before.
I'm quite aware. The other person that inhabited my body was a buffoon.
Good enough for me. And I release him.
And I'll take my nails out at that point, and I will also cast. We'll do. Where is it? What do I have prepared? Oh shit! What do I have prepared?
I could do it
Healing
myself.
hand.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say I don't have any healing things prepared.
That's all right. I can cure wounds myself.
I want to
Okay.
insight him
Go ahead.
just to see if there was a change. 12, I think.
You get the sense this is definitely Paul. Like, a version of Paul. You may not be 100% certain of what version it is, but you get a feeling that nobody inhabited his body. Nobody did anything exciting.
Okay.
And, as a character note for Paul, you now have fused yourself, and you're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is the residual effect for the moment of what's going on with him. So he is in fact Paul. Meanwhile, we have Darius, who, as this was going on, unbeknownst to him, is currently possessed. And he is possessed by a former bard who was in the house. And the bard was a traveling bard and came here for one of the many adventurers to help save the house.
I had to play the fucking trumpet, didn't
So at this point, you notice for Sid and Archer, their arms are still glowing, and it seems to be when they get closer, it glows brighter. When they move apart, it glows less. It glows lesser. When they go closer, apart.
So.
Put your arm over there. By hers. Be extra glowy. What's up with that, huh?
And Paul, unbeknownst to him, has another bolt of lightning shoot from his hand, and it shoots both of them apart. Roll dexterity saving throws.
13.
Not one. Okay. 13's good enough. What did you do to yourself? You deal half damage on your next attack.
So, what I have deduced here is that part of the residual effects of coming to this type of place has provided me a bit of what I call electrokinesis, as in I can produce electricity and manipulate it at... that was probably the less lingering effect of my counterpart, and I do apologize.
Your counterpart?
The other person that you decided to plunge your fingers into his chest.
So I did do something good?
Correct. Yes, you did quite well, Jorna.
Perfect.
Pikachu Magneto guy, I don't know, man.
And so, at this point, you all are... You look around and you're... Somehow it changed to the bottom floor. So the house sent you back to the bottom floor. So you can choose to go back to your rooms, you can choose to go to the kitchen, you can choose to go admire your menagerie with all the little statues, which now has some gargoyles in it that are remnants of one of the adventures that you had upstairs. And also... Go ahead.
Paul, can I detect your thoughts really quick? Are you a willing creature for this?
What would be the purpose?
See if there's any of that other guy left in there. Looks like there might be.
I'll be honest with you, and you're welcome to do whatever you want to my brain. That's fine, in the sake of science. But what it is that I can still feel him there. It's like we are fused together. So there is a chance.
Okay with that?
That is something that I'm going to have to deal with personally. But as I said, moving forward, I think I will be having an internal battle with myself from time to time, and might end up inconveniencing you folk. And I do apologize for any misconduct. But
I can watch this internal battle maybe if I detect them thoughts.
as I said, if you would like to, go for it. But
Doctor, I do not believe you want demon blood messing around inside your head.
and I have talked to your soul personally, my friend.
You have my attention.
Your soul was also on the astral plane as well as where I was. And so I've come to know him quite well, actually.
And how do I get him back?
That, still to be determined, but, it pretty much involves more of the possession like I was trying to attempt earlier.
Wonderful. Why does it never mind?
Need my assistance, and she'll like flash her hands again.
No.
You know, last time I said it wasn't needed, but apparently I was wrong. So I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself.
So what do you guys do? Do you go back to your rooms? Do you go adventuring some more together around this house? What do you guys do?
Jorna's gonna go back to her room, 100%. Like she's overwhelmed to capacity right now. She definitely needs to go and do a little meditation and maybe take a rest and kind of assess her spell situation.
I'll probably follow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go rest so I can reset my spells.
Okay.
Well, see what's this ghost lady? She's still ghosting around.
Elizabeth is not currently with you. She doesn't have the energy to stay consistent. She's about a level 3 ghost who will have to recharge, or the house has to recharge her. But she's no longer trapped in a coffin, so she will reappear occasionally.
Alright, that's a win. I'll take it.
Where are you headed to? Cephalogia, Archer, and Paul?
I am going to retire to my room as well.
Cephalogia, Archer? So,
Same.
in your rooms, you find each of you has a box on your bed with your names on it. And it is signed Lord Roanoke. And that is where we're going to end this week.
Damn.
Dun, dun.
Alright, so thank you so much for all the raids and everybody. Let me go around here and introduce my amazing cast, these amazingly talented humans who are bringing this story together. Up first is Paul Renard, and he is played by Justin. Justin, introduce yourself, where we can find you, Twitter, Twitch, etc., etc.
Yeah, my name is Justin Mast. I play Paul and Renault. I'm on Twitter at Zort1. Actually, if you search for Zort1 pretty much anywhere, I use that everywhere, so you can find me all over the internet with that. But I don't exactly use my Twitter, so, you can shoot me some messages if you like, but otherwise, that would be me.
Up next, we have Darius Mornwall, who is played by Kurt. Tell us about you, where we can find you, where we can message you, what you like best about today.
What did I like best about today? Oh, that everybody else has a soul but me. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Kurt Vanetis, right there. You shoot me a message, add me, follow me, whatever. I'm known to repost lots of stuff, especially if you have your own channel. And we'll see you guys next time.
Alright, we have Sid Ironcast, who is played by Megan. Tell us where we can find you. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I think that's all off the top of my head. Tell us what you liked the best and where we can find you.
Best finding out so much backstory stuff about so many people. Including myself. You can find me Twitter, Megan_star9 with 2 R's. I have just started recently using it, so I'm not super active, but a little active. Twitch, Bullets and Bracelets, but I don't really use it to stream, more so just to watch streams. Like,
Wonderful. Next, we have Cincinnati D&D, who is comprised of Matt and Miles. Tell us what you liked best and where we can find you guys.
I'm mad. That's Miles. I like that I can have a. Oh yeah, is my patron staying in my room with me, or does my patron have like his own patron room?
He stays above. He can look. It's like a window. Like, he just opens his window and he looks down.
But I love my patron's ceiling cat. I enjoy that I get a personal relationship with my patron. Makes me feel special.
I like that I get a tattoo. I didn't even have to go to Eberron to get a glowing blue tattoo.
I mean, legit, that's the only place you really could get one.
Yeah, we Cincinnati D&D on. It's down here. It's down here.
Yeah.
Over here. Yeah, over here. Yeah, Cincinnati D&D on everything, Twitch and Twitter, and we'll be on the D&D Beyond. Right, we're on there.
Yeah, we'll be on D&D Beyond's Twitch for
Hell. We're going D&D in Hell next week.
We'll be introducing you guys to some really awesome new stuff in Baldur's Gate: Descent to Avernus. We're doing an open, an epic, and some really cool adventures that I can't share any details about whatsoever.
And last but not least, we have the talented, amazing Ray. She plays as Jorna Ash, and she comes from Scraticus channel and very much more. Tell us where you are, who you play, and anything else we need to know about you and where we can find you.
Hey, I'm Ray. I'm with a brick with 2 Ks. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, almost anywhere by that handle. I really enjoyed getting the first kill, real life human kill today. That was kind of tight. Woo! Really scared of these spooky ghosts. Boo. We'll see what happens next week with it all then. I'm excited to see if I have a dad.
Yeah. And I am Misty. I DM here on the Greyhawk channel, as well as hang around on the Scraticus channel. Madame Gandalf and Kent Weebs, and they're amazing. I'm also part of Cincinnati D&D, and Cincinnati D&D will also be in Hell, and the entire cast here will also be at Gamehole Con. Yes.
Sign up for one of our games.
There is a game being run by Matt, and it may be relieved by Miles. That's kind of being worked out. But we have had a blast here today. And we thank you so much for starring with us. All the raids, all the people. We love you and we support you. Stay tuned for a message from our sponsors, and we will see you next week at the same time and same place. Have a great one, guys.
See you.